Imagine this. The sister of one of the biggest pop stars on the planet quietly drops a hint that reignites years of speculation and sends fans into a frenzy. That's exactly what's happening right now. Justin Bieber, Justin's younger sister, has sparked a storm of conversation online, one that has fans convinced Selena Gomez still holds a place in Justin's heart. Could this be the biggest twist yet in the never-ending Jelena saga? Let's break it all down. Justin and Selena's love story has always been more than just a relationship. It was a global phenomenon. From red carpets to concerts, from public makeouts to tearful breakups, their every move made headlines. Even after their final split in 2018, fans never fully let go of the idea that there was unfinished business between them. And now, in 2025, while Selena is engaged to Benny Blanco and living her own new chapter, Jasmine's recent actions seem to have cracked the door wide open again. It all started with something that looked simple: a like on Selena's engagement post. But in celebrity culture, likes are never just likes. Fans immediately took it as a sign of approval from inside Justin's own family, sparking rumors that maybe, just maybe, Selena still holds a special place in their world. Then came the subtle captions, reposts, and little gestures tied to Jasmine, cryptic enough to avoid direct drama, but suggestive enough to fuel theories that Justin has never fully moved on. The timing makes it even more explosive. Justin has been married to Hailey Bieber since 2018, and their relationship has faced constant scrutiny. For his sister to publicly show support for Selena right as Selena steps into a new engagement, that doesn't feel accidental, it feels like a message. Fans are split. Some see Jasmine as brave, hinting at the truth Justin won't say himself. Others believe she's stirring up old drama that could hurt Hailey and destabilize Justin's marriage. For Selena, it's complicated too. On one hand, she's engaged, happy, and moving forward. On the other, she's suddenly back in headlines tied to her most talked about ex. Some fans think it's unfair, while others argue it keeps her name relevant in ways that actually boost her music and influence. And then there's Hailey. Since day one, she's been compared to Selena non-stop, and Jasmine's subtle nods only fan those flames. Supporters praise her for keeping her cool in public, but critics say her silence looks like weakness in the face of a narrative she can't escape. As for Justin, his silence speaks volumes. He hasn't addressed Jasmine's moves at all, and in the world of celebrity gossip, saying nothing is often louder than speaking. Some believe he's letting Jasmine keep Selena's name alive for him, keeping his legacy tied to Jelena without having to lift a finger. Others think his silence is just damage control, protecting his marriage while the speculation burns on. Where does this all go from here? One story, one post, one lyric from any of them could ignite an even bigger fire. Selena could address it directly, or slip something into her music. Justin could finally comment, or stay quiet and let the world keep guessing. Hailey may eventually be forced to defend herself more openly. And Jasmine? She's gone from being the little sister in the background to the unlikely truth teller at the center of this saga. One thing's clear: the Jelena story was never really over. And now, thanks to Jasmine, it's back louder than ever. So what do you think? Did Jasmine just confirm that Selena still has a hold on Justin's heart? Or is she simply showing love for Selena as a person? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because if this is any indication, the next twist in this saga is right around the corner, and here's where things get even wilder. Fans didn't stop at Jasmine's, they started digging. Old photos, resurfaced quotes, even old interviews with Justin suddenly started trending again. People pointed out that Justin has a history of letting family members hint at things he doesn't want to say out loud. Remember back in 2014 when his grandma casually mentioned Selena at a family barbecue and it spiraled into headlines? This feels like déjà vu. Social media threads are blowing up with theories. Some believe Justin secretly gave Jasmine the green light, using her as a way to keep Selena's name alive without risking direct backlash. Others think Jasmine is just being protective of her brother, hinting that she knows where his heart really lies. And then there are the wild theories that Justin and Selena might have reconnected privately, and Jasmine's actions are a subtle warning shot to the world. Meanwhile, Hailey is in a tough spot. Every move she makes is being dissected. Fans noticed she didn't immediately comment on Selena's engagement post, and that silence was enough to spark another round of rumors. Is she upset? Is she ignoring it on purpose? Or is she simply refusing to play into the drama? Whatever the case, her every like, unfollow, and caption is now under a microscope. Selena, on the other hand, has stayed completely silent. She hasn't responded to the frenzy at all, at least not publicly. But her silence is only making fans read deeper into the situation. Is she avoiding it because she's focused on Benny? Or is she keeping quiet because Jasmine's hints hit closer to home than anyone realizes? And then there's Justin, still saying nothing. Every time he avoids the topic, the speculation grows. Fans argue that his silence is confirmation enough, that if there wasn't truth to what Jasmine was implying, he would have shut it down immediately. Instead, he's let the narrative spiral, and now it feels like the entire internet is waiting for his next move. And just like that, the internet turned into a battlefield. On one side, you've got Team Selena, who see Jasmine's like and subtle posts as undeniable proof that Justin's heart never fully moved on. They're flooding Twitter and TikTok with clips from old interviews, song lyrics, and even body language breakdowns of Justin whenever Selena's name comes up. To them, Jasmine simply said out loud what Justin has been too careful to admit, that Selena was, and maybe still is, the love of his life. On the other side, Team Haley is pushing back hard. They argue that Selena's engaged now, Justin's been married for years, and it's disrespectful to keep dragging up the past. For them, Jasmine's move wasn't brave, it was messy. Some even accuse her of undermining her brother's marriage, stirring drama that Haley doesn't deserve. Their posts emphasize Haley's loyalty, how she stood by Justin through his toughest battles, and how constantly being compared to Selena has been unfair from the start. This clash isn't just happening in fan pages, it's everywhere. TikTok edits of Justin and Selena are going viral again with millions of views. Meanwhile, Haley supporters are posting montages of her and Justin's marriage moments. Captions like, "This is the real love story." Even celebrity gossip pages are fanning the flames, asking their followers who they believe Justin belongs with. The wildest part? Neither Justin, Selena, nor Haley have said a word. And so, the silence is being filled with fan theories, cryptic tweets, and endless speculation. For every fan convinced Jasmine just reignited the Jelena saga, there's another claiming she's only being supportive of Selena's engagement, nothing more. But one truth is clear, the storm is back, and it's louder than ever. And now the media machine is running at full speed. Within hours of Jasmine's making headlines, gossip sites were already publishing exclusive insider quotes. One tabloid claimed that a close friend of the Bieber family confirmed Justin still checks in on Selena from time to time, while another suggested Selena will always be Justin's first true love. And everyone close to him knows that. None of these sources are named, of course, but that doesn't matter, because once a story like this gains traction, the speculation becomes its own kind of truth. Podcasts and YouTube channels dedicated to celebrity drama have jumped on the moment too. Entire episodes are being recorded with titles like, "Did Jasmine just expose Justin's real feelings?" and "Why Haley Can't Escape Selena's Shadow." Clips are going viral where commentators dissect Jasmine's Instagram activity frame by frame, comparing it to old posts, hunting for patterns. Even mainstream outlets that usually steer clear of fan wars have picked it up. Fashion and lifestyle magazines are publishing think pieces about how Selena, Justin, and Haley's triangle has defined a generation of celebrity culture. They're calling it the modern Ross and Rachel saga, a storyline that just refuses to die no matter how much time passes. Behind the scenes, PR insiders say this kind of coverage is a nightmare for Haley, but a blessing for Selena. Haley has to fight off narratives of being the replacement all over again, while Selena's name is tied to romance, nostalgia, and timeless love. Boosting her brand without her having to say a word, and hovering over it all is Justin, staying completely silent. That silence is being treated like its own statement, either proof that he's protecting Haley by avoiding the subject, or proof that he's still too conflicted about Selena to shut the rumors down. Fans didn't waste a second before digging back into the archives. Old interviews, song lyrics, and even tattoos are suddenly back in circulation, repackaged as evidence that Jasmine's subtle nods were really just confirming what Justin has been saying in plain sight all along. Clips from Justin's early press tours are going viral. Again, the ones where he said Selena had the kindest, most genuine heart, or where he admitted she inspired songs like All That Matters. Fans are replaying those moments with captions like, "He told us years ago, Jasmine just reminded us." Then there are the songs. Sorry, Mark My Words, and even Ghost are back on trending playlists as Swift Talk and fan edits connect every lyric to Selena. One video with millions of views lined up Selena's Lose You to Love Me with Justin's Sorry, framing it as a lyrical back and forth that Jasmine's recent actions have now reopened. The tattoo theories are just as intense. Justin's angel wings ink, his Selena-inspired shading, and other symbolic designs are being reanalyzed with fresh captions like, "You don't cover up your past if it never really leaves you." To hardcore Jelena fans, these tattoos aren't just body art, they're receipts, permanent reminders that no matter how much time passes, Selena left her mark. Even Selena's own discography is being pulled back into the spotlight. Songs like "The Heart Wants What It Wants" and "Nobody" are suddenly climbing again on streaming charts, boosted by edits connecting her heartbreak to Justin's regret. It's not just nostalgia. It's being treated like an unfinished story that Jasmine may have just given permission to revisit. Fans are saying it feels like the sequel nobody expected, but everyone secretly wanted. Now the spotlight is shifting directly onto Hailey. Every move she makes, or doesn't make, is under a microscope. Fans are dissecting her Instagram activity, checking if she's unfollowed anyone, liked a cryptic post, or uploaded a carefully worded story. The silence itself is being treated as a statement, with some saying her decision not to engage is proof she's unbothered, while others argue it shows she's feeling the pressure. Comment sections are flooded with speculation. She's pretending nothing's wrong, but Jasmine's move cut deep. Others claim Hailey's silence is actually strategic, an attempt to rise above the noise, while her husband's name is once again tied to Selena. Either way, the comparisons she's faced since the moment she married Justin are now flaring up all over again. Some fans believe Hailey's brand has been unfairly built around defending her relationship, constantly battling shadows of the past. Jasmine's subtle approval of Selena reopens that wound, making people question how much unity really exists inside the Bieber family. Supporters of Hailey insist she's being painted as the villain, when in reality she's the one caught in the crossfire of a story she didn't start. Critics, however, argue that the tension has always been there, and that Jasmine's actions simply confirmed it for the world to see. What's undeniable is that Hailey is once again being forced into a role she never asked for, the face of resilience against a ghost that refuses to fade. Justin's silence is the loudest part of this entire situation. While fans, media outlets, and even his own sister seem to be fueling the fire, Justin hasn't said a single word. No statements, no interviews, not even a cryptic lyric drop on social media. And that's exactly why people are convinced he's letting the narrative play out on purpose. To his supporters, the silence feels like confirmation. If he truly wanted to shut down the speculation, he could easily post something dismissing the chatter or publicly defend Hailey. The fact that he hasn't is seen as proof that there's still truth lingering behind Jasmine's subtle gestures. Others believe this is his way of protecting himself. By saying nothing, he keeps his marriage intact, publicly while still allowing the whispers about Selena to float in the background. Some fans have even theorized that Justin and Jasmine are working in unison, her actions speaking the words he can't afford to say himself. That way, he gets to maintain plausible deniability. It's a clever strategy, but it's also risky. Every day he remains silent, the internet writes its own version of the story, and those versions are only getting louder. For longtime followers of the Jelena saga, Justin's quietness feels almost like déjà vu. He's always been known to express himself more through music than words, and fans are already speculating whether his next project will finally reveal what he really feels. For Selena, this whole situation feels like history trying to drag her back into a story she's been working so hard to close. She's engaged to Benny Blanco. Her career is thriving, and she's finally been living in a space where she isn't constantly defined by her past with Justin. But the moment Jasmine's support hit the internet, Selena's name was right back in the headlines, tied once again to the man she walked away from years ago. To her fans, this feels unfair. They argue she deserves peace to move forward with her own love story without being forced into old scandals. Selena herself has spoken many times about how damaging it was to live through constant comparisons, rumors, and public scrutiny during her relationship with Justin. And now, just when she's finally built stability, the shadows of the past have resurfaced. Still, some people point out that this might not be entirely bad for Selena. Whether she likes it or not, her name trending alongside Justin's always boosts interest in her work. Every time rumors resurface, her streaming numbers rise, her interviews get more clicks, and her brand remains in the center of pop culture. For some, Jasmine's actions may unintentionally help Selena stay relevant in an industry where relevance is everything. Yet the emotional toll can't be ignored. Even if the speculation helps her career, it risks undermining her personal life. Selena has worked hard to show the world how happy she is with Benny, and being tied back to Justin creates an uncomfortable narrative, one where people question if she's truly moved on. For Hailey Bieber, Jasmine's move cuts the deepest. Since the day she married Justin, she's been battling endless comparisons to Selena, and this latest wave of speculation only reopens old wounds. Imagine being Justin's wife and seeing his own sister like an engagement post for the woman the world still calls his great love. To outsiders, it may seem harmless, but for Hailey, it feels like a crack in the foundation. Proof that even within Justin's family, the shadow of Selena hasn't gone away. Her silence has been noticeable. Hailey hasn't clapped back publicly or addressed the situation, but fans are dissecting her every action. Whether she unfollows someone, posts a cryptic caption, or simply avoids social media altogether. Defenders argue that her calmness shows maturity, that she's refusing to play into the drama. But critics say her silence looks more like surrender, as if she doesn't have the power to shut down the Selena narrative once and for all. And then there's the question of loyalty inside the Bieber circle. If Justin's sister is openly supporting Selena, what does that mean about Hailey's place in the family? Some fans are convinced this shows lingering tension between her and Justin's inner circle. Others believe Jasmine's actions are less about disliking Hailey and more about refusing to let go of the past. Either way, it places Hailey in an impossible position, fighting for her marriage in public, while privately dealing with the weight of being forever compared to Justin's first love. And so, we're left with a storm that refuses to die down. A single Instagram like, a few subtle hints, and suddenly the entire Galena saga is alive again, years after everyone thought it was buried. Jasmine Bieber's quiet move has reignited speculation about Justin's heart, pulled Selena back into the spotlight, and left Hailey once again facing the shadow of comparisons she never asked for. What happens next could reshape everything. Will Justin finally break his silence? Will Selena step in to defend her peace? Or will Hailey be forced to draw a line once and for all? One thing's for sure, this story isn't finished, not by a long shot. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Jasmine just being supportive? Or did she drop the biggest hint yet that Selena still means something to Justin? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because when the next twist hits, you're going to want to be here first.